our outfit's going along fine. We spent quite a bit of our time with the youngest, Evelyn, who's 30 now, and has 3 little babies that came at 1-year intervals. The oldest one is 3, 2, and 1. And she needs help because she's got a husband that's a truck driver and he's on the road all the time. So we have fun having those kids at our place almost half the time, it seems like. And then the next one up is Lee, some of you know, and he lives up in the Seattle area, and they have 2 darling kids, boy and a girl, extremely bright kids. And we get up to see them once in a while. We'll go there right after Christmas this year. The next one up from him is Tina, and she has 7 kids. And the oldest one got married this year. So who knows, we may come along with some great-grandchildren eventually. And they're all doing fine. The next one up is Jill, and they had a baby when she was 42 years old, and she's 46
surprise
now.
Baby. We're glad she's
And, that was a surprise to them, I guess, and certainly to us. And we were thrilled about that. And the next one up is Dennis, and he's happily married to a woman that has 2 children from a previous marriage. And his 2 Guatemalan daughters are in school, and both of them doing extremely well in college. The younger one is staying with my mother, who is now 98, and so we're glad that she's there, so it's not entirely alone. We had our 50th anniversary in St. George in August, about the same time that our granddaughter got married in the St. George Temple.
My oldest is my daughter Jaylene, and she lives in Woodside, California, and she has one beautiful little daughter, Zia. And she and her husband Craig both work out of the home. They both work in computers and work with Hewlett-Packard and do designing and all kinds of fun stuff. They work right out of the home, so it's really been nice for them. They have offices right there in their homes, and they're both very athletic. They like to travel. And my second is my son Kent, and Kent's had quite a change in lifestyle, we could say. Kent had been basically really semi-active to inactive since he was 16, and he's now 34. And he's been active, he's really been going strong for the last year. And he and his wife and his daughter are going to be sealed in the Redlands Temple next week. But that's an exciting story. And
kept calling his dad and saying, what does this mean right here in such and such a...
Yeah, we were kind of reading along together in the when we were reading the Book of Mormon, and then he passed me and left me in the dust and went through the rest of the standard works before I finished the Book of Mormon. My next son, Kyle, who was a college professor in New York and lived in Philadelphia, moved to San Diego to go to teach at the University of San Diego, and then found out he couldn't live on a college teacher's salary down there. So
in California.
Yeah, San Diego's a pretty expensive place to live, and so he changed occupations, and he now is a pharmaceutical sales rep and doing very, very well. And he's using a lot of his science training that he had when working on his doctorate and whatever. He's been able to use some of it, which is good.
He has his doctorate.
Yep. And my next son is Craig, and he's coming back to life as far as the church is concerned too. Both he and his wife have gotten active, and they have 2 daughters and a little boy, Jake, we call him. Jake was my first grandson, and he's a lot of fun. He's a real cute little 2-year-old. But Craig is actually teaching Sunday school, and this is a big thing for Craig because he's another one who practically hadn't opened the scriptures for quite a few years in his life, so it's a big change for him.
Where's Craig live?
What's that?
Where's Craig live?
Craig lives right by the Canyon Racket Club, right up there in that ward. But again, he's had a bishop who basically has took him aside and given him challenges and things, put him in front of him. And I think he's with Kent's help, I think he'll come along and keep growing, which is cool. And my son David is in Seattle. David and Maggie had a little baby boy, cute little dark-haired baby
It's 2
boy.
weeks ago.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago, and got to go up and see them. And my youngest son is Dallin, and he's got his first big crush on a girl, so we're just kind of dealing with it as best we can. But that's really my story. But it has been a good year. It's good to see the sons and kind of catching on with the gospel. I've still got a couple more to go, but they're on their way. And it's interesting, my son Kent, who has grown so much in the gospel, I have to give a tremendous amount of credit and thanks to my sister and her family, because it's her sons that have been a strength to Kent when he's had hard times. And this has been an incredible thing in his life, and it is a real reason that he's there and under that influence. So that's very special.
But our son Bricker and his 2 little girls moved out of our basement this year. So for the first time at age 65 and age 72, we are empty nesters. Devin will be an empty nester next year. But things are going well. Our kids are all happy. We have all our children here except our youngest, Christian, who's up in the Seattle area, and some of these cousins, it sounds like all about to get together. And they are returning in January to be sealed in the temple. So we're thrilled for that event that's coming up. He got, how many came to Ephraim? He got the Thorpe family together. All Phil's brothers and sisters and their kids, members and non-members, came to Ephraim, Utah to dig around and clean up cemetery sites for their great and great-great-grandparents. And just had a marvelous time together. But we thank Devin for a loving family, because when it comes down to it, that's what life's about.
Yeah, it is. One thing, tell them about Dayton. I mean, this is
yeah.
not insignificant.
Not insignificant. He's their only son. He's 17, is a junior in high school. Last year he was a junior in high school, and won the national debate championship in Chicago. First time it had gone to, I guess.
That's
3
great.
years. They were thrilled. He was recruited from West to Highland. The Highland coach wanted him to come, and he spent 1 year. Spent a year with him at Highland, and they won the national championship. Just an outstanding young man, trying to choose from among the best schools. So we'll hate to see him go away.
Well, we have 4 kids. They all still live in California, but we've gotten back on 3 of the 4 because we've got most of their kids at BYU. And so we have them to dinner once or twice a month. We've got a house full.
10 of them.
10.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's really kind of fun.
How many?
Well, if you count 2 of them are married, or spouses, that's 10. That we've got actually 8.
Which is
Actual grandkids.
half of our
Right.
grandkids.
Wow.
We also just had our first great-grandchild 2 weeks ago. So we're starting down that road, if you can believe it. But everything's good. Our oldest son was just called to be a bishop this year. We haven't done a whole lot because we've been slightly distracted with 5 different surgeries. It's spread themselves throughout the year, but nothing very serious. A couple of gallbladders, things like that. Heart stem.
It made all the difference.
Yeah, it really has helped us both. We feel great. If your kids are doing great, then life is good.
That's right.
And we always look forward to this part of the family, be able to spend time with you.